So
No T-Pain.
We're just no T-Pain. I can only afford T-Pain on special occasions, and unfortunately, this is not one of those occasions. So, hello everybody. We're back. We've got Mike. Not Yes Man tonight. Just Mike.
It goes back and forth.
He's like an alter ego. He might have a thing going on in his head. I don't know. And I just earlier when this fellow logged in, I noticed he changed his name, and that's it, guys. We're out of here.
What can you do?
What can you do? He's always right. Yeah. So, anyways, we're going to talk about the Bat Wars, or I'm talking the Batman Wars, the Bat War, the DC Wars, WB. I don't know what they would call them. There's a battle going on in the 6 scale community with Batman, and obviously, which when we first scheduled this, we did not have a Kenobi trailer, but now that we do, we kind of got to talk about that. Because that might be way more interesting than the Bat Wars.
But less controversial.
I think they're both up there.
They're both up there. So the other night, I had Justin here. We were talking about this, and we were talking about Yost and his Batmobile and the 6 scale figures. We had no idea there were other companies were going to dive into the vehicle. But now it appears that other companies are going to dive into the vehicle, and I would like to hear from the community about this topic, so I want to talk about this. So I hope you guys are doing well. If you've seen the Kenobi trailer, no spoilers. I'm just kidding. We've all seen it. This is a trailer, but we're definitely going to talk about that. I feel like, should we leave out Batman spoilers? Does it matter? Should we warn the people? Do we need to talk about spoilers?
I don't think we need to talk about spoilers.
I don't think so. If we do, we can be like, "Hey, go away for like 2 minutes or something."
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll try and give you a warning if we're going to go into spoiler territory for the Batman for those who haven't seen it yet. Although if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it.
Go see it.
Yeah, it's good. I definitely want to go see it again in the theater. I saw it in RPX. I was telling Brendan this last week. They have the 4DX theaters here now. And a buddy of mine went to go see the Batman. He actually saw Uncharted. He saw Uncharted in 4DX. And recently, like Mike and we went down to Orlando at Disney, rode a bunch of rides, and motion sickness with the visual like screens and chairs moving thing didn't go well with me. And I knew after watching Uncharted on RPX that when they're like flying around off the plane and he's spinning and all the stuff, I was like, "There's no way I would just."
See, I wanted to see that in the 4DX, but there were no theaters playing it like that near me.
Well, my buddy that went said it was amazing because they had like full force winds blowing at you the whole time, and you're like, you're swimming around the chair, and it's got it's crazy. So I'm tempted to take like I don't know some, whatever drug you can for motion sickness. Dramamine. And I was thinking about I have some. I was talking about I'm like tempted to try it, but
you'll be the first guy that walks in with like a thing of Dramamine and a barf bag.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
But he's gonna have plenty of like arm room and stuff because nobody's gonna sit next to that guy,
right? Well, they have the Batman in this as well. I don't know how that would translate in this, other than it rains on you the whole because it has water. It literally will rain on you the whole time. So I guess maybe you got to wear like a swimsuit to see the Batman movie in 4DX. I don't know.
I think there's like I think we're encroaching on like over the top level of realism.
It is
like.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's going to be like an action scene, and there's going to be like somebody that runs up and like punches you in the face, and while you're in your seat or something like that's what it felt like. Like I could have inferred. I don't think I really needed the actual punch in the face.
If they're hiring for that position, I just want to intern it.
Just
for like
run
a weekend.
and just punch people. Be like the Oprah of the 4DX movie theater. You get a punch, and you get a punch, and you get a punch.
Oh god! Or when they like have the like the what's the movie? The Johnny Knoxville
Jackass.
Jackass. All the people like kick people in the nuts. Like you get to run up there and kick them in the nuts. That'd be 5.
I want to be the guy that lets a bear loose in the theater.
Right.
I want that job.
So I'm thinking about going to see that again. In that if I take the Dramamine, so that'd be fine. But all right. So this week. Batmobiles. We knew Yost with Jazzy Dioramas was making a Batmobile. He's previewed it. We talked about it a week or so ago, or even a couple days ago with Justin with the his craziness he's making is just freaking awesome. He's been working on it for like 8 months behind the scenes because of NDAs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then Hot Toys goes out and says, they posted the photos of the Batman figure with the Batmobile in the background, but we know how Hot Toys operates. They often show us shit and then don't actually make it. But this time they said, no, we're going to make it. Question in the chat: do we believe them? Do we actually think they're going to make it, or are they just kind of giving a little nudge to Yost? So, Brendan, you're always right. What's the correct answer?
I kind of feel like they're gonna make it. They did at the end of 2021. They did specify that 2022 was going to be a year that they were going to put some more emphasis on vehicles. And we're seeing that play out. They are making the Tumbler. They already put out the Batpod. They already put up for pre-order the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2. So I think that they are going to make it. I was pretty surprised though, because when they said that, I thought they were going to go with stuff that was like more iconic and more established. And I really like the Batmobile in this movie, but it hasn't reached. It's only been visible for like a week, right? It hasn't reached that level of status that the '89 Batmobile or even the Tumbler or something like that has, or '66. So I was kind of surprised, and even Yost had said he was told nobody else was making one, let alone 2 other companies that because Queen Studios was like, oh hey, we're making one too,
right? And Lego's like, oh, we already made ours.
Right. Now, who knows if this is a thing. I think Hot Toys is going to make it, but it could be a thing where they don't put it up for pre-order for like another 6 to 8 months, and then it's 2 years out from that. So even if all 3 of these companies go ahead and make them, I think Yost will be first to market for sure. I also think that, and Yost even said in his interview, in his video, that he, will probably be more expensive. I don't know about Queen Studios. I mean, they could shock us and be crazy high.
Yeah, who knows?
But I think, he'll be more expensive than Hot Toys, because Hot Toys is going to make so many that they can lower the price, whereas he's got to recoup more because he's making 500 instead of like 5,000 or more. So it's a tough position for him, like he was saying, to decide if he's going to continue with it. But the thing is, Yost will make early prototypes and send them out to some people, and he'll get feedback from them and feedback from the people in the groups and see what they like and don't like, or see if things need to be updated because he was working on concept art, but it was actually slightly different in the movie, and he's gonna, he'll tinker with stuff and try. Whereas Hot Toys, it's like once they decide on what they're like putting out, like that's going to be pretty much it, I think, for a vehicle. I don't think they're going to go back and do a lot with it. I would almost wonder if he should maybe go like the Kickstarter route, or kind of HasLab, like try and do something like that to make sure that he's not going to lose his shirt on this if other companies make them and are cheaper. But yeah, I do think they are going to make it, but I still think Jazz Inc. will probably be better quality. I'm not going to get it, but I think it's cool that it exists, and I hope Yost does well with it.
Yeah. Right on. All right, so we got 1 vote for they're going to make it, and Mike, you had some thoughts that I thought were very good. So.
My long-winded thoughts.
Yeah. So I was like, he sent me this. He goes, "I'm studying, by the way," and he sends me like a 12-page text. I said, "You're doing a really good job of studying, but you're studying the wrong thing." So
I was, yeah, no. So, as I put in my text message, I think the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw the announcements this morning was the American auto industry back in the 50s and 60s. And the reason being is, I mean, obviously 3 Batmobiles, 3 cars, so that's probably the link. But I'm more interested in what these announcements mean for the, the companies kind of writ large. Because, back in the 50s and 60s, the American auto industry was at its zenith. They had cornered the U.S. market. They were putting out amazing vehicles. These were the days of like the 57 Chevy, the Stingray, the GTO. They had great quality, great value. And then in the 70s, the Japanese manufacturers started coming in and offering cheap, but what most people subjectively thought was poor quality products. And so they didn't really impact the market for a while, but they were there. And then, during the 70s and the 80s, those Japanese cars became, higher quality, and they started providing customers with better value. And at the same time, the US car manufacturers didn't do a whole lot of innovation. They didn't really improve their quality. And then they opened up the door for the European exports to come in with Jaguar and BMW and Mercedes for kind of that high end, subjectively high quality vehicle. And so that's kind of where I see the companies right now. I mean, we have these third party companies which have steadily increased their quality over time, and they're still providing great value. You have Hot Toys, which is the standard by which we all measure things. But over the past few years, their value's gone down. I mean, you look at the Tom Holland Spider-Man versus the Zombie Slayer Spider-Man, and there's a significant price difference without a head sculpt. And then you have these higher end companies like Yoast, and this is an assumption that Queen Studios is going to be putting out a pretty high quality but expensive product. And so, I'm really interested to see, if they all make the same product, it'll give us a direct comparison of what those products are from quality and value. But what I think is really important is that these companies are now going to have to make some tough decisions. The third party companies are going to have to, find a way that they can continue to improve their products, but still provide, good value. And then also at some point, maybe even try and get licensed, which will also increase the cost of their products. Hot Toys is going to have to decide whether an 18-month product development cycle is tenable anymore. And if they're going to be willing to just use a middleman that adds 20% to their price point. And then on Yoast's side, is he going to be the company that, his original mission statement was kind of, I'm going to make high quality products, but products that there aren't alternatives out there for. But now there's two alternatives to the main product that he's working on now. So does he back out like he talked about in the video, or does he push forward and say, okay, the defining feature of my products they're going to be the highest quality, and that extra cost is going to be worth it. And so, and then Queen Studios kind of comes in, and we'll see what they deliver. So I really think that the decisions that these companies make over the next couple of years is really going to define, the market. And frankly, it's the best time for us to be customers because we get to see that competition play in real time. So I think all three are going to make the Batmobile. I feel really bad for Yoast because, he made the assumption based on the information he was given from Warner Brothers that other, companies weren't going to be making similar products.
I think he has the most to lose out of the three.
And he does. He's the smallest. He does all the tooling and all the investment up front. And I agree with you. I actually posted on his Facebook page that the Kickstarter idea is the right way to go, which is get people to commit now to make sure that you get enough guaranteed buys to make it worthwhile. Otherwise you put yourself at risk, and he has other products or projects that he can work on, to maybe fill in those gaps. So I'm just really interested to see how this all works out. But I do think it's representative of kind of a shift in the collecting world as we go forward.
He should make Anakin Starfighter.
Oh, I completely.
Hot Toys is going to make that, didn't you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I was thinking about
Shazam 2-pack.
I was thinking back with when Toyota came over first. I think their first car was the Corolla or the Camry. I can't remember which one. I think it was the Camry, the very first one. And it was like $1,000 or whatever it was in that time. And you're right. And now you go look at them and they're $50,000. And not before even the crazy inflation stuff. Like they were just, then they got Lexus and they got all this other stuff going on. But you enter into a marketplace, and you got a couple different ways to enter into a existing market. Is you got to do it by price, or you just got to advertise the hell of it. And the Japanese company chose to come in by price and undercut everybody and sell a product. Honda did it with motorcycles, and they kind of came in. The Civic, Honda did it with the Civic. That was their first foray into it. And it was a stupid cheap car, and they sold a bunch of them, and that's how it worked. Look at Volkswagen now. Volkswagen Beetle came in.
Yeah, 1938.
The people's car. And now look at what they're doing now. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's just in emerging markets and that kind of stuff. But I think you're absolutely right. The competition is freaking exciting.
It's weird
for us.
It's weird too, though. just based on the fact that while Queen Studios does great statue work, we have no idea what they're actually going to bring to the table when it comes to a 6 scale vehicle. So right now, I mean, I think Yoast has the edge, and I think most people, at least that are aware of Jazz Inc., because I think more people are, collectors that don't get a deep dive into all the different companies are aware of Hot Toys and not him. But I think the people that are aware of Jazz Inc. most likely are going to be in the camp of he's gonna make a better product.
Yeah,
I mean, Hot Toys makes great stuff, but like his stuff, like the attention to detail and the just the heart and soul he pours into his stuff, I think people will expect the highest quality from him. Honestly, I think Queen Studios will come in with the highest price point, just based on the products that they already put out. I don't see them coming in with a bargain basement,
No.
price on a 6 scale vehicle. So I think that theirs will be the most expensive. I think in this case, Hot Toys might actually be the cheapest. Which for some collectors that'll be a thing. It'll be like, I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money, so I'm gonna go with the Hot Toys version. But I do think that Yoast is going to be better, and I think that his is going to come out like a year before this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, I'd say go Mike and I apparently we're agreeing a lot these days. But I do, yeah. It's like do that Kickstarter model, and at least for this one, right? Because you still have the X factor of one. Is Hot Toys actually going to make this? I think they will, but we don't know for certain. And two, what kind of quality and price point is the unknown of Queen Studios going to come in at? Yeah. So I think the Kickstarter model at least gives him a little bit of assurance. It protects him a little bit, and then he knows what he can really invest moving forward in doing this vehicle. But more and more we're gonna get, I think, to the point where as you get J&D, as you get Queen, and then Hot Toys wanting to do more vehicles, whether they want to or they're doing it because there's demand, I don't know. But I think that Yoast is it's going to be harder for him to only stick to the creating the vehicles and the collectibles that that other companies aren't making, because I think more of them are going to start doing these kinds of vehicles and stuff, the Bat Pod, the Bat Bikes, the all that kind of stuff. I don't see them doing the Batwing like him. I think he'll still probably own that space.
That'll be tomorrow's announcement.
Yeah, seriously.
Next thing we know, what is it? So Toys is doing the Batwing, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, so I do think that he's going to run in. I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time, but I think he's going to run into that more often moving forward, where he ends up doing a vehicle or something that that other companies are actually doing too.
Yeah, and this is specifically a WB problem, like the current situation, because he's licensed for Warner Brothers. Clearly, Hot Toys is, and Queen Studios. And
what this shows us, though, is that a lot of these licenses are not exclusive.
Oh, Warner Brothers is definitely not.
To do 6 scale, whether it's figures, vehicles, or whatever, a lot of these things are not exclusive. Yeah. There are some hiccups where, like, apparently, we're never going to get that Clone Wars Obi-Wan because Sideshow is doing theirs, and so Hot Toys can't do one. But like, what we're seeing is that there is room for companies, like a So Toys or, a Toys Era or something like that to come in and maybe get a chance at, like, maybe like a specific film or maybe like a comic book character or something, and not be it on, based on film. But I think there are doors opening, because WB seems to be spreading out the licenses a lot.
Well, yeah, they're not afraid.
Somebody asked in the chat about, like, well, then why did he get licensed? And the answer is because then he would have gotten sued for making this stuff. So now he's still able to make this stuff.
Right.
He wanted to be legit. Like he wants to be. Like that's so all these third party companies start off that way because of budgeting reasons and
literally all three of the companies that we're talking about were unlicensed. Hot Toys was a third party unlicensed company when they started. So was Queen. Queen only got licensed like a year ago, 2 years ago.
When they got the Marvel license, and then it went.
Yeah.
And just one other last thought, the thing with Yoast is of all the companies that we talk about, he by far is the most transparent. He's the most, he advertises, he communicates with the customers. I mean, how many of us would want 10 minutes to talk to Hot Toys and just, kind of slap them around and be like, why do you do things this way? So he's garnered a lot of loyalty from the customer base because of the quality of his product, the transparency that he shows, and the genuine, I think, passion he has to put out a good quality product. And so I think that's going to carry him through this, bit. And, we've talked about ways that he can do that. I think that Hot Toys, Sideshow, and Queen Studios, all these other companies need to really kind of take a look at their marketing department and everything else and start communicating with the customers more, because this whole idea of I'm going to take your money for a year and a half and go radio silent and then come out with something that you may or may not like, that's not going to cut it in the future. When you start having all this competition building up on the third party side and everybody else, customers are just not going to deal with that anymore. And so
I do agree. I think the Kickstarter fundraiser deal is definitely, as I'm thinking about this today, I was like, well, what if Yoast, he's going to have to fall into a price, not a price point, a quality point, I guess, if you will, where you got Hot Toys, Queen, Yoast, and he's got to decide if he's going to be like the Prime One premium, like badass vehicle guy or guy in that, where Hot Toys is going to make a nice product for $700, $800, whatever it's going to be. But his is going to be next level, and then the level higher, and he can charge that price, and it's got to be cost effective for him. But the other thing I was thinking is he should consider. I don't know. I talked to him randomly. He should consider if this is going to be this kind of wars going on. Maybe if his price point is higher, maybe you limit them to a number. Maybe you make 500 of them, they make 200 of them, or whatever that is. You guess
he mentioned that
today. Exclusivity to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he mentioned about actually numbering them, numbering each one and having an addition. It's like, okay, 500, and you got 3 out of 500, and you got
exclusive. I mean, look at statues. Statues are typically numbered.
I think that's a good. Honestly, I think that. And having that, it's premium price, but it's also premium quality. And combined with what Mike said about actually communicating with your customers, I think that will set him apart from everybody else. I do think, like, Queen Studios actually does a pretty good. Yeah, there you go.
I have this. This is the 30th edition of this piece.
Queen Studios does actually do a good job about, like, they've got people that go on live streams. They've got people that, are in the Facebook groups and stuff. So they are good about it. I think Yoast is better about it, but I think they're doing something. Hot Toys doesn't do anything.
And he's hands-on. I mean, he's painting his own prototypes, and he's the guy in the chair, right? He's doing.
Linda made a good point in the chat too, that we're talking about this competition and we're talking about these 3 companies all doing this, but only one of them has actually shown anything physically. Like, Yoast has actually been tooling these things. He's shown it. Whereas Queen Studios has just said, we're going to do it. And then Hot Toys has shown a picture here, which is obviously like a rendering. It's not.
We're going to get a cardboard cutout.
Yeah. Like, so even though like Yoast is maybe in a little bit more of a precarious position than the others, he's the only one who's actually shown us like a real world product that is going to be made if he, chooses to continue with this project, where the other 2, it's just a wink and a nod. It's like,
Hot Toys has shown us physical product and not delivered. You got Base Malvis, General Kenobi, Padme, Kit Fisto, Bespin Luke. We've seen all kinds of crap from Hot Toys. Like, oh, here you go. Shazam. They made a freaking Shazam post. Where's Shazam, Hot Toys?
The weird thing is that some people some people will drink that Kool-Aid though, and they'll just always think, oh, it's coming. They're gonna make it. It's gonna come.
So I think there's going to be a cause and effect. So the cause of competition, in my opinion, the effect is going to be fewer pre-orders, because they're going to wait to see what the final product is from all 3 and then make a decision.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've already seen a decrease in pre-orders just based on, again, that 18-month cycle. People are just saying, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm tired of giving you my money and then not hearing from you. And so I think between that and then saying, oh, I have other, suitors out there, I'm going to just hold on to my money. Yeah. And so, it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see, a year from now, 2 years from now, we all kind of get online and we talk about things and we just look back on this and say, oh, wow, we never would have seen this company, this company doesn't exist anymore, or this company's now the, number one, figure that we all, want to buy from, or whatever. It's just, it's going to be a fascinating time.
And to your point about them like doing with these crazy long, production cycles and going radio silent after they take your money, that's not something that I know a lot of people are immediately going to be like, well, COVID and everything. That was their MO before COVID, before the pandemic. That's what I mean, think about Gamora and Hulkbuster. Like those were, you'd been waiting a year and heard nothing before we got to COVID. Yeah. So that's not something that can just be explained away that, with just current world circumstances. That's just Hot Toys MO. Right?
Yeah, because COVID doesn't stop anybody from going on a freaking post on their own Facebook page and going, "Hey, this is what's going on." Bam.
And a lot of people are not doing pre-orders anymore because it's just like, I mean, as it is right now, I've got like 30 something things paid off, and next month I'll have like it'll be up to like 40 or 50. Like I'll have completely paid off that I'm just sitting there waiting for. I'm not pre-ordering anything anymore because I'm just like, there's no point.
I know. If I was not, because I have pop collectibles and whatever, but I still have to pre-order Sideshow stuff like the Clone Wars figures that they keep delaying for whatever reason.
Yeah, like I don't pre-order Hot Toys. I pre-ordered I'll pre-order like statues, or like third-party figures that like. I know, like Gambit, like sold
they're coming out in a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I'm getting the SSR, Kingdom Come Batman. I know that's coming out, by like the summer or fall. It's coming out this year. It's not like in 2 years,
He's right, Miles Morales,
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, everybody's been talking about Loki from Endgame, this week and stuff, but like. How long ago was Endgame? It was like 3 years. Like, and that's the last one, but we're still waiting on an Endgame figure. That's absurd. Still waiting
on it. We're in the Endgame now, Brendan.
Man, that was a long game.
I'm curious to see how this plays out. I want a version of the Batmobile in my collection because the movie was freaking awesome, and the figures that Hot Toys has given us looks awesome. We don't know what Queen's going to do with the figures. It may also look awesome, but I want a version of the Batmobile in the collection. I don't know which one's going to be the one I prefer. I have no idea. I don't mind the price point. It is expensive, but that, like Joseph selling, his is going to be around $1,499, $1,500 somewhere around there. I understand that. I get it for what it is. It's going to be a big piece. He put him next to the Tumbler or his other Batmobiles. It's a big piece, custom painted lights, sounds, haze effect. The whole thing. It's kind of crazy.
So you're still trying to decide which iteration of the Batmobile you want in your...
Well, I know I want this version of the Batmobile. I just don't know. We don't know from which company because we've only seen...
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you meant you were trying to decide which Batmobile from the...
If Yost was today, if he was to pull a Sideshow, like Sideshow did last year with the life-size child, right? They put up their life-size child statue like a week before Hot Toys announced theirs, and they got all the pre-orders in, and they captured that. That's a good business move on their part. But if Yost was to put his up now, because of the price point, I think people would like tap the brakes a minute and say, well, let's see what everybody else is doing before I put down my deposit. And that's the sucky part for him. Like, that sucks. You'll have others that don't even know don't even know that Queen Studios even exists. And they'll go, okay, this is cool. It's crazy, man. I don't know.
Right. I mean, Queen Studios does not make cheap products. So if people are only in the 6-scale game, they don't know a whole lot about Queen Studios. And so that's just like they may not know a lot about Jazz Inc., but that's an X factor for them. Whereas, you see people like that all the time where it's like they only collect 6 scales. So they don't have a reason to buy stuff from from Queen Studios. So now they're like, oh, wait a minute. This other company, but I've never heard of them and they're going to be really expensive. I'll just stick with Hot Toys. So that's where Yost, it's more about It's more about him getting his name out there and people understanding what he's about and what kind of service he provides and what kind of quality. That just takes time to build, and it just sucks because when you suddenly you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a three-way race that you thought you were the only guy in it, the day before, you can't just build that rep and that name overnight.
Yeah, I'm watching a series on History Channel because I love history stuff, and they're doing like the Titans that built America. Then they did the men who built and the companies that built America. They
and the food that made America. They're all great.
They're all great, man. Carnegie Steel and the whole thing. And
I'll do the food one, yeah.
The food one, I missed the food one.
It was Mars and Kellogg, and it was great.
Shoot, I missed those. All right, but the Carnegie Steel and Chase, J.P. Morgan, and all
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. And Ford, I enjoy all those, but those guys were freaking ruthless, and it worked out for them mostly. But so I enjoy the business side of this, and for me, the business side of this is interesting to see which company is going to go where, and just kind of sitting back. I call it kind of going into airplane mode, right? You get up the 40,000 feet, and you're looking down. You go, okay, what's happening here? I enjoy that. So this is kind of discussions I've.
Hot Toys is definitely in the best situation out of all of them, because they can just not make it. If they can do 6 months from now, they can just be like, yes. All right, never mind. But they won't even acknowledge it, right?
No, they could just fuck with Yoast and for.
That's what I've been saying for like just about everything. It's like it's just Hot Toys doing Hot Toys shit, right? Yeah. So like that could be exactly what they at some point. Howard just be like, all right, never mind. We're not going to do it, but we're not going to say anything either. Yes. Whereas Yoast has to make a decision and he's got to communicate that to everybody. Queen Studios. You damn well better make that, because you're coming fresh out of the gate this week talking about we're in the 6 scale game now. Look at this and look at that. If the biggest thing that you say is we're making this Batmobile and then you don't make it, you just burn some bridges. So they have to make theirs. Now it's a matter of, Yoast has to make a decision, but Hot Toys can just be like, we'll see.
See, if it was me, if I was Queen or Hot Toys, one or the other, I wouldn't announce a freaking teaser image. I'd have the damn prototype, and I'd have a badass B-roll video. I would just do I would. This is weak. This
reveal, just like a hype video.
I wouldn't put it on display at Secret Bake. I would, but I would have a hype video. I'd say, look at this. It's amazing. You guys want to go over there? You want to go to the Netherlands? Y'all want to deal with that guy? Boom, here you go. And almost like a War Machine dude, like boom, you looking for this? So that's Rhodey. That's what I would do if it was me.
Age of Ultron reference, I like it.
Age of Ultron, yes. That the business side of me goes, no, we got 2 weeks. Build me a damn prototype. Let's go.
And that's the reason why I was talking about how Hot Toys right now is Chevy and Ford, because they, that I always refer to it, but that Hellboy to me was innovative. It was something new that they hadn't really done much of. But then they come out with the Darth Maul for Clone Wars with, you can see his elbows, potentially single jointed elbows. They didn't do the silicone skin on top. Like we've now gotten two Hot Toys with single jointed elbows just out of the blue. Like they've just kind of like, hey, we're the only game in town. People are going to continue to, buy from us. And it's like, no, there are people coming up on you. And if you don't change your ways, they're going to blow right by you. So,
and it's not just unlicensed anymore.
I freaking hope they do. I hope somebody comes around, just kicks them square in the balls and says, hey, look at this. That's going to be amazing. In 40X. Bam. Right in the balls. See how I did that? Came full circle.
It's like that. There was that like Ashton Kutcher movie. It wasn't that great, but like the What Happens in Vegas, and the Lake Bell, the actress, she like walks through the door and she punches the guy in the balls, and he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "You know why?" Although that's what's gonna happen to Howard.
Antonio says Hot Toys needs to build a distribution facility in the U.S. I agree.
No, that's not. It's not just a distribution facility. It's the actual licensing, which there's tons of legal tape through that. Sideshow already has distribution deals in here to try. If they came here, they would have to dissolve their deals with Sideshow It would be a battle there. It just there's so much more than just build a factory in the U.S. Like it goes so far beyond that. It's just not tenable for Hot Toys to do that. It would be such a pain in their asses. There's no way they're going to do that.
I agree. So we got this guy. So all right. So one thing that I say most people, but I learned over the past couple of days in Brendan, the Queen Studios. This is their 6-scale Heath Ledger Joker, which looks amazing. We're gonna look at this, but they themselves, not hearsay, Queen Studios themselves says that their WB license is in China, and their anime and something else is stateside. So the DC related products Queen Studios make, the Batmobile, this figure, their license is limited to distribution in China.
Yep. I had somebody in the Facebook group today be like, "Well, we'll just wait and see." I'd be like, "No, there's nothing to wait and see about. Queen Studios said it."
No, they said it. No, this isn't hearsay. This direct from them. So you're not going to see Queen Studios on Big Bad Toy Store. You're not going to see it on Sideshow. You're not going to see it on Collector's Zone for DC products. You'll see some anime, some other things, but
the Dune one,
is
worldwide. Marco said that he will carry that once they have that in the States.
Which does, if I'm actually, the movie was good, but the figure I think is going to be amazing. So they got 2 different versions of Heath Ledger Joker that we have seen. This looks flipping amazing.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know that. I think that we were talking about this. I think there's a wrist joint there, and they just like angled the photo but I don't know that. I don't know.
I still have fingers crossed for swappable forearms like the Kenshin figure. You know, that would be really cool. That would be something that would set them apart.
I finished that first movie today.
Dude, the choreography in that, it's so good.
Oh, I felt bad for the dude, man. Felt bad.
Oh yeah,
he got done dirty.
That happens to him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't trust the women. That's all I'm saying.
I think this looks really good, and the other picture, like the figure looks good, but do the photography a little bit better. Like, show your product in the best possible way. I know this is just supposed to be a tease, but like,
it's not a very good tease.
You can do better than this. This looks like it was taken with somebody's phone.
I know you're no videographer, but
anybody who uses that term, I don't like the term videographer. People, I'm a cinematographer. Okay, I work in video and film, but if you say videographer,
I know
you're an asshole. I'm just, I'm sorry, but
you're just pushing buttons, Jeddah.
So I'm not at all.
Here's my question:
Why should have hired a different photographer?
But why do you think they chose
exactly photographer?
Why do you think they chose this figure as their coming out?
I think they'll because mass market. I mean, they literally have a Batman movie out right now. This is good timing for this, even if he's not, the guy in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, but
and the DX11 is what 5-6 years old. I mean, it's a decent figure, but it ain't this good.
No, it's kind of interesting. With them doing the Batmobile from the 2022 film, you would just expect them to put out a Batman or another character from that film as their initial, foray into 6-scale. I'm not unhappy about this. It's just kind of an interesting choice that this kind of standalone characters.
He's the go-to for everything, though, and people have been clamoring for, what I guess it would be a 3.0 of this Joker from Hot Toys for the last 2 years. So. I think this is actually a smart move. Plus, Queen has already done large-scale statues of this, so I think they already have design base for this. They know that there's a demand for it, but it doesn't have to be like massive scale new Avengers like Iron Man movie kind of thing. They might make a smaller run or something, but it'll still sell out. So I think this was a safe bet for them to start with. And so I think they can do a good job with this. And despite the quality of the photos, the product itself looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm curious about what the next one that they reveal looks like. So I think they'll knock this one out of the park. It's the next one that I want to know how they do.
Yeah, this and the tailoring on this looks beautiful.
Yes,
like beautiful. And there's two, if you guys haven't noticed in the chat, there's a rooted head sculpt, which is this one, which is a different expression to this one, which is a sculpted head sculpt. And Queen has offered one or the other in statue form. They have done that.
So what do you think what do you think this means? Like, because, people, it's not just, is it sculpted hair or rooted hair, because those are also two different expressions. So is it like you're going to get one expression rooted and one expression sculpted? Are you going to have options? Like,
I'm expecting Queen to come to the table with accessories galore, with the packaging. I swear, if they give me a damn plastic ass clamshell bullshit.
I think they
got to do something different. They got to.
They're going to be premium. They're going to be more expensive than Hot Toys. They're going to have premium packaging, and I think they're going to come loaded with accessories, but I don't think it's going to be a ton of like the really small kind of accessories that you get with like like some throwing knives or something like that. Like, I think they're going to be really detailed, very well made accessories that you're not just going to put in like a Ziploc bag and never touch again. Like, you're going to be struggling. Do I want to use this? Do I want to use this? Like, I think that's where they're going to go as far as adding that value.
Yeah. You guys are wondering where to get Queen Studio stuff. You get them. Spec Fiction carries them. Pop Collectibles is going to carry these. I'm sure Toys Wonderland will probably carry it.
Their official distributor for North America for licensed stuff for large scale products is Cinemaquette. Cinemaquette.com. That's where I got my I put my pre-order in for the half scale Endgame cap.
Nice flex there, Brendan. Nice flex.
I'm helping the people. But Cinemaquette is where you can go for the stuff that they're licensed to sell in North America. So like that Iron Spider Tom Holland bust, the Loki one that they just announced, like stuff like that, you can order through there. If it's DC stuff, then they're not licensed to sell that in the US, so you have to go. I mean, like a Spec Fiction or something will get it. Otherwise, you've got to go overseas for it. And then the licensed stuff that they're going to come out with in the future, Marcos should have as far as the Marvel side at Collector's Own.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And if they do come up with a price point that's significantly higher than what we're used to for Hot Toys and things like that, it really does need to be an Apple experience when you open the product. You can't put a $450 figure in the plastic clamshell. It needs to be like, a little ribbon on the door, a little hard cardboard, open it up with some nice fake felt stuff. And like, it just needs to be an experience opening the box.
Yeah, and you can't do a half-ass copy job of an unboxing video like some channels.
Shot fired. All right. So I think we've talked about Batman stuff enough. Let's move on to the next topic of today, which I feel is just super exciting. If I can make this work. Oh, no, hold on. Let me go back to where I already had it up. I just got to click a button. Oh, look, I canceled the screen share because I'm a freaking genius. Here we go. All right, let's go. All right, we ready? Ready for this? Look at this. Look at this. Oh, play. Yes. I don't have the sound on because I would 100% get copyrighted for this. But I think it's got
about that.
Closed captioning. Look, there's music notes, so you know there's music.
Anytime you play that music.
What amazing music choice. So this right here, we'll kind of pause and go through it in just a second. But this dropped today, and it's already got like 400 gazillion views of everywhere and all that kind of fun stuff.
What do you think of the visuals, the cinematography? I mean, based on this trailer, how do you like the way it looks?
I have no complaints whatsoever.
I like the nighttime scenes on what clearly is not Tatooine, has a kind of Blade Runner vibe to it. The cinematographer here is I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I'll mess it up. It's a Korean gentleman. He is the cinematographer from Uncharted that just came out.
Right on. They like the use of anamorphic lenses. I've noticed that. But there's that. Yeah,
very Blade Runner-esque there.
Yeah, it's it feels like different world than like Book of Boba Fett. It feels it's just different.
Parts of the nighttime like city type stuff that's like not Tatooine has a feeling of that canceled Star Wars game. It was like Star Wars like 1616 or something like that. It was like supposed to be like an underground kind of like the underground crime area of Coruscant. So
Right.
it's got kind of that vibe to it.
So I wanted to, Mike, what were your first thoughts when you saw this thing today?
Yeah, I'm excited because I think up until this point, the Inquisitors in Rebels and a little bit in the comic books have been just for as important as they seem to be in the overall plot, for Star Wars, they haven't really been used to their full capacity. They've just kind of been stand-in bad guys for various episodes or various little storylines. So I'm really glad to see that they're going to be brought into this, and we knew that they were already. I think the casting looks really good. It has the actress from Queen's Gambit. It has, I think, Rupert Friend, however you pronounce his last name, from Homeland, is going to be the main Inquisitor. I think the cinematography looks great. I think, obviously, everybody's just really interested to see how Anakin, comes across with being Darth Vader and Hayden Christensen coming back. So I'm super excited about it. Frankly, you play Duel of Fates, I'll watch anything. Like I said, I'd watch a still shot.
I've heard so many people say that exact same thing today. It's like Duel of Fates, you got me. There it is.
Oh, it's done. Yeah. Duel of Fates. Yeah.
Medic's getting a little sassy in the chat there. We might have to time him out.
Is he? I don't. Max Gignum says Hot Toy shared this video. You mean the video we're looking at now, or is there a different video? I don't know. I'll look at them. But
I also think we missed a super chat at some point, just FYI.
Okay. Therefore, I'll try and go back and catch that. Hot Toys just shared it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
The
Thanks.
trailer, you mean?
Yeah. Everybody has shared the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, we know Hot Toys is going to make stuff out of this. That's not like.
Oh, there's so many possibilities in here. It's insane. That's a whole nother thing. Let me see. I don't want to make sure. Oh, yeah, I did miss it. Sorry. Antonio, their future depends on quality per price and the turnaround time from announcements to shipment. Oh, he's talking about Queen Studios. I 100% agree, buddy. And again, 18-month turnaround cycle is insane. That would be bad. If Queen Studios could figure out how to do it in 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Game changer.
I will say I was really surprised that they got like Joel Edgerton, to come back as, his dad or his uncle. Sorry.
As Lars.
Yeah, Lars.
He's such a good actor.
Future scorched skeleton. Truly. I know, right? Too soon. But this is really exciting. They got the right cast. It looks like they have the budget. Like you said, they take them off Tatooine because I think we're all getting a little bored of the desert planets. I think it's going to be really good.
We got this guy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see him like fall off. Like he just falls off the side. It's just like, oh.
And I do not want him in the show. Like, I want this shot to be almost all we see of Luke. I don't want Luke to be part of this show.
Oh, I think I think we'll see him at some point. I just hope they don't CG Mark Hamill's face on it.
Well, no, I mean, I thought what they did in Rebels was perfect in the Two Sons episode, where he just sees him from the distance. He's keeping he's keeping away from him to keep the attention away from them. And so I do not want Luke to play any major part in this series at all.
I don't think he's going to play a major part, but I think there will be a scene with them or something, like where Luke bumps into him in like a market on Tatooine or something, fine. And he says something like that. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be excessive.
I want to see him working on a power converter. That's all.
Yeah, right. And
what I do think we'll see
swap rats or whopper.
If I think it's all but guaranteed that we will see Jimmy Smits in this show. We will see Bail Organa. I wonder if he's gonna have like an 8-9-year-old Leia like with him. I feel like that. I feel like that'll happen. But I mean, I will. Not going so far as to guarantee that Ahsoka will be dropped tonight or tomorrow or the next night or the next night or the next night or any of the previous 17 nights
or 17 weeks ago.
But I will say that I think I will come as close to I can as guaranteeing that Bail Organa will be in this film along with Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I think. I think if we get this version of Kenobi, I hope we get multiple versions of him. But this is like the hobo Kenobi to go with the hobo Luke. Like, is that going to be a thing? Like for displays, I don't know. But this right here, we all know Hot Toys nails like weathered, old, wrinkly faces. They're just really good at that. This, I think they're going to knock out.
I think that Obi-Wan is going to have a rough go of it in this show, though, because remember, in like 8-10 years' time, he's got to be Alec Guinness.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's about to go through some stuff in this show.
This has been the point of contention. This guy, I've seen it in Reddit forums, just collector forums, Facebook. Oh my God,
the lead Inquisitor, yeah,
the Inquisitor. Everybody, not say there is a large portion of the Star Wars audience who is really like said, "I'm not going to watch the show because they messed this guy up." Like from the trailer.
Like, you mean like the look of him?
His appearance.
Well, you know, Jason Isaacs, I think, was the voice in the cartoon, and he would have been perfect.
Yeah, but they wanted him to be tall, like Conehead guy. And because they didn't deliver that, and I get it with the Sith eyes, and I get he's bad.
Yeah, but that's such a very specific art style from a very specific animated show. You can't just make him like... You want him with like the, you know, you want his ears at right angles, and you want these like cheekbones that are like, it's like, come on, it's like, it is what it is. Like, just really give the movie a chance, or give the show a chance. We're freaking
Inquisitors live action, and we got people bitching about it. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Just, you know, stop sucking at life, people. Just stop.
Yeah, this is definitely one that we just have to wait for the product, wait for the show, make our judgment afterwards. But I'm not going to knock anything about this, you know, based on the trailer.
No, they're knocking it based on his appearance, and I'm going. The fact that it even exists is amazing in live action, and I don't know.
Now, this trailer, we're not doing the audio, but like right here, you hear him speaking, like kind of a voiceover. But before that, when the shuttle is arriving, there's another voice who's talking about Jedi.
Yeah, we can do.
I thought those were two different voices. I thought the first couple of lines were from somebody, and then the second were the Inquisitor. I thought the first one sounded like Palpatine.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Palpatine.
Hold on, yeah, I think that we're going to see him.
Oh yeah, there's that.
See, it says Grand Inquisitor in the captions.
Yeah,
but it sounded
the face.
The first couple lines sounded like it was from Palpatine, and I think that we see Palpatine. We're going to see Vader. Why not see Palpatine?
Emotional damage. Exactly, Antonio. You understand exactly what I'm talking about. This is the people just want to complain. I don't understand. The other complaint, because you know that's what people. I thought this was weird. All right, this guy right here, straight up wearing a baseball cap.
Yeah, he is. I think that's the first one we've ever seen in Star Wars.
We've never seen a baseball cap in Star Wars.
I can't wait to see this in 4K. I can't wait to see this in 4K. I want to see if there's like a team logo on it.
Right? And they just got a Starbucks cup.
Like it just made it into the movie. Somebody was like,
you know, we are coming from a franchise that was founded on somebody running down the hallway with an ice cream machine. So I think we can deal with it.
I think we can. I'm not upset about it. I just thought that was interesting.
I like the look of that droid.
Somebody punched this person in the face really hard. So.
Either that or he needs some Benadryl really fast.
Somebody fed him peanuts on the ride over.
That's right.
You know we're gonna get some stormtroopers out of this.
Oh God, yes! I can't wait. All right, these guys.
But there's another droid that looked really cool.
Yeah, he's later in the shot, I think. So this is for those who are curious who the heck these people are. We have the Grand Inquisitor, which is badass. This lady here with her helmet off, right here, or has a helmet off quite a lot, is the second sister, which her helmet look is amazing. And then we have the fifth brother. People are complaining about the fifth brother as well because he is more human-like than here. I mean, this is obviously just animated stuff, but if we go fast, this is the fifth brother. Oh, he just went by. So that's second sister. There's we got Lars. There's her doing that. Felt like Tron there for a minute. All right, so here it goes. There's Kenobi. There's
That one. That droid. I want that droid.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
He reminds me of the robot from Real Steel.
I think he'd look cool next to K2SO.
Ooh, I like it. Let's see here. She's going to do some flippy stuff. All right, there's our Grand Inquisitor with his
spinning saber.
Is he going to fly off like he did in Rebels?
Right. Yes.
Probably. People really didn't like that, but that's freaking awesome. Eric, so here's our fifth brother.
That's Han from Fast and Furious.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, he's definitely got. It's definitely an Asian style face that I noticed in there. But
yeah,
so because he doesn't look like this, people are upset. I'm going, guys. Just third. Oh, someone
find me an actor who looks like that.
Oh,
how about
Powder
that?
Tang says third sister. Really? Okay. Second sister is already dead. I think it's third sister. Okay. Well, maybe it is. Yeah. Find the actor who looks like. Look at all these troopers we're gonna get. Look at that. Man, I don't know. I'm excited about this. I think the storyline is going to be epic. The fact that we're getting, and the very end, like the end of the trailer was my favorite part.
This might have already reached more screen time that was enjoyable than the Book of Boba Fett.
They got 4 million views. Hold on. I got to play this. Right there. That Vader.
Yep.
That freaking Vader breathing, man.
Dude, yeah, this is, I mean.
You know,
I love that too. I love that.
The fun thing about this is it is rewarding those that have sort of kept up with the property over the years. I mean, this is definitely a show that is 100% going to be more enjoyable if you've seen Clone Wars and Rebels, and even more so if you've kept up with some of the comic book stuff. But
assuming you're not one of the people who is then going to be anal about everything that doesn't 100% match to those shows,
right? But like on the Ahsoka side, you're going to also be rewarded for the people who have read some of the books with Thrawn and also Rebels with Thrawn, and so I understand that this may be some. There may be a lot of kind of casual audiences that only saw the films that are going to be like, I don't know what's going on, in this. Yeah. But it is kind of nice to have Disney and Favreau and everybody else to put faith that there's enough people out there that would enjoy some of this, deeper mythology from the series. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, episode 5 of this will feature the Mandalorian, and he'll save everybody. I'm just kidding.
It's what we talk about a lot when we do our like Monday night comic book streams too. Is that like Marvel? There's tons of Easter eggs. There are tons of things. Even if you look at this Batman movie, right? There's tons of stuff in there that was alluding to the Hush storylines from the comics. That was alluding to the Court of Owls. All of this stuff. That it's in. They don't have to put that in there for the general audience that doesn't know about that. They're putting that in there so that the people like us who are paying attention to all the different iterations of these IPs, all of this stuff, will get more enjoyment out of it, and maybe we'll get some clues as to what they're planning. But we can speculate, and that fuels the fire. And it's fun, and that's a cool level of fan service for us. They can do that, but balance it so that people who don't have that level of backstory and knowledge don't feel lost, and they can still enjoy these new shows and movies. Right. And that's exactly what they're doing, and that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like, Seamus was a great example the other day when we were talking about the Batman show, because he's like, oh yeah, this Easter egg, these things that I didn't catch because I hadn't read Court of Owls and things like that, and that's great. You add an additional level of enjoyment, to those fans.
Although he's still an idiot because he doesn't like Peacemaker.
That's true. But I think again, at our age, we grew up kind of, with the original series and then, of course, the prequels. And I think that every dad would just be so happy for their son to kind of enter in on this type of a property and then turn to, one of us and be like, I want to, experience more. What do you recommend? And you'd be like, well, have you seen Clone Wars yet? Let me show you Rebels. Let me show you these comic books that I had since the 90s when I was a kid. Like this hopefully is an entry point to also expanding, their interest in the series. So I'm really excited about what they're doing.
It's so fun, dude. Like both of my kids
we could see freaking Boba Fett in this.
Yeah.
We could absolutely see Fett. I mean, we know that Vader reached out to Fett and Black Chrysanthemum.
Well, no. Fett is in the Sarlacc.
Well, at this point, is he? Is he there now?
Oh no! Wait, no. Sorry. In this one, no. Fett is Fett's still around. Yeah. So he could.
I mean, Vader in the Soul Run, Charles Soul Run. So Vader goes out and recruits Black Chrysanthemum and Fett to go off and do a mission for him. I mean, not saying he will in this. I'm just saying the storylines, the possibilities are there.
Yeah, but Mike, like what you said, I mean, both of my kids love them, but my oldest loves Star Wars. She's watched every episode, like all the movies. She's watched every episode of Clone Wars and Rebels at least like 10 times a piece. Yeah. Like every episode, every seat, like she absolutely, like there are times where she has favorite episodes that she'll just come home and she'll just put a specific episode on. Like she knows what season it is, goes and finds it on Disney Plus and stuff. So, and she is into all the Marvel movies and stuff. She hasn't gotten into the DC ones as much, but like, yeah, it's fun when, the younger generation can come in and so then she'll ask me questions about like, well, what about this character? Where did they do that? And she'll ask me questions about like the lore and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's cool when Disney or Marvel or, Lucasfilm put those things into these for the rest of us to geek out about.
Yeah. And my son's too young to really do that right now. He just likes, the color of the lightsabers and then just wants to step over them. But at some point, I want him to turn to me and be like,
he is going to learn that more. Vader is Luke's father. He's going to have that holy shit moment.
Mike. And I'm going to be staring at him like he's going to have no idea why Dad's staring at me. But
the true test is when you offer him a green saber or a red saber, which one he chooses.
He always takes the red saber. He always takes the red saber.
That does not surprise me at all.
That's the true test. I'm super stoked.
Now, what if it was a red and a blue? No, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. I'm super stoked for this. There's so many possibilities and so many whatever, the 6-scale figures we might get. I would love Prime 1, for the love of God, get the freaking Star Wars license and give me some 3rd scale shit. This is pissing me off.
So like, I don't know if we're wrapping this up, but there was one other topic I was going to ask you about. And that is, so what do you think of the releases of the Ahsoka and the Loki being the same time as Hong Kong with Sideshow?
Oh, I think it's. I don't think there's any way that's not going to happen randomly. We've already seen it a couple times.
Yeah, it's not going to be a consistent thing. It's just going to be. It'll happen here and there. Yeah. I think
what's the thought behind it? Like, if it was a continuous
sun shines
thing,
on a dog's ass every once in a And,
well, no, I mean,
it shows the dog's ass.
I mean, even you two agree sometimes anything's possible.
Right. No, I mean, if it was a regular thing, obviously we know why that would happen because they're trying to, get the business back from the first release stuff. But to make it random doesn't change anybody's behavior when it comes to pre-ordering or where they order it from.
No, it doesn't. You're right, because they're like, and we've all seen it in the Facebook groups and stuff where people have been like, "Oh, see, it's a game changer now. Sideshow's getting it at the same time. Right. All you shady Hong Kong resellers, The people who are saying that, one, we know that they're flat out wrong. And two, they're the people who were never going overseas paying for first batch in the first place. They were always going to Sideshow. So they haven't changed. Yes. So they haven't changed anybody's thought process on this. Anybody who's around long enough and understands the game and how it works, they're either already aware of Hong Kong resellers and are doing that, or they're like, no, I want to stick with U.S. based, and they go Sideshow, and that's fine. Yeah. But like, they're not swaying hearts and minds. Like,
well, but if they did change the model, like to consistently release stuff over here at the same time over there,
good for
them.
Don't
think that Sideshow would come out with the biggest press release ever, saying we will now release the same time as Hong Kong. So like the idea that that people think that this is like a regular thing, defies all logic.
They would tattoo it on all of their social media people's faces and just put it all over.
Of
Yeah,
course,
in the Facebook
because
groups.
it makes business sense. That was
Every
Right.
time that they advertise some stupid pewter model or gold coin stamped with some figure that they're selling for 4 times the actual amount of the gold or whatever,
Yep.
would also be a little subtitle that says, "Oh, by the way, we're also going to release the same time as Hong Kong." So I just don't understand why they're doing like this randomness.
Because they have all these people that are saying it for them, so they don't actually have to say it because they know it would be a lie. So they have all these people that are just like kind of loyalists to them, which I don't get it. They're just a company that sells stuff. I don't understand. But they have all those loyalists that will then go in the Facebook groups or go on a live stream or something like this and say that. And then people who are new to the hobby, who don't know any better, they start buying into that, at least until they've been around long enough to realize that that's not how it works. But in the meantime, they've just got some converts for Sideshow.
Until it fails again, and then they get pissed off and
right. And then a new batch of people come into the hobby, and they go through the same process. So
I did want to show this because I was on this site today because somebody was asking about Batman light boxes or whatever, so I went in there and I saw this. This is completely random, but
we talked about it last night. Yep.
This bear with me.
I looked at it, after you had mentioned it.
Bear with me 1 minute. $605 for the Sword of Omens, which I think is pretty freaking sick.
Yeah,
so
but
I was like, cool. Let's go check it out. So I went down here and the view size comparison. You ready?
Is there an apple?
Are you ready?
Oh, Sideshow, you are just on fire. Oh my God. Man, give that man a raise, whoever did that.
I was like, I gotta pay $700 for that deal. I was like, I pre-order immediately. Like, this is awesome.
It needs to look like this.
Yeah, well, I think it actually does. They just
but Mike, here's the thing: when you mentioned it last night when we were playing Call of Duty, I was like, all right, I got to check this out. And I'm sorry, I think it's absolutely idiotic to put a product page up with a $605 price tag and literally not have pictures of the product. It's just like an illustration.
Yeah.
We have no idea what the actual physical product is going to look like. It's like I could render something like that in Photoshop. That's easy. That is not an actual product. It's not even a photograph of a product. No. And you're it's immediately $605.
This is like, I think we're going to make this.
You might as well tell me that's an NFT. Like,
and the funny thing is like this sword from Lord of the Rings. I got this back probably 10 years ago, and I think the price point on this thing was maybe $500, and it was United Cutlery, I think, was the manufacturer. So this was great value. It's good quality. It's exactly what you would want. But at the end of the day, like if you're going to charge more than what this one cost, you can't just put up a cartoon. Like people are not going to buy a cartoon.
Exactly. I did want to mention one thing, if you guys could give me 1 second, because everybody was jumping up and down about this, and yesterday, and everybody's messaging me. No. Everybody's messaging me about this thing, and I was like, dude, I don't even freaking know. But I gotta find it. Shoot, there it is. Is this Batman light box? Seamus.
Oh yeah, Seamus was all up in arms about that.
Seamus sent me 1,000 messages about this. And I was like, dude, I don't know. So here it is. All right, here it is.
He was asking about that along with a life size, like a 1-to-1 Peacemaker helmet.
1-to-1, yeah, exactly. And the 1-to-1 Eagly. So this light box.
I mean, it looks cool, yeah.
I think Seamus actually didn't get any sleep because he missed out on this. Anyways, what I wanted to tell you is if you missed out on it here, Pop Collectibles will have this. I think it's on their website sometime. Anyways, if you want it, there it is. I think it's pretty cool looking. I don't know. This one's, I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of them. I don't know. Anyways, you got the hot toy light box. Okay. All right. Well, you can quit whining now. We don't have to hear about it no more.
Anyway. I can picture Seamus right now. He's like, I'm gonna hatchet you, sons of bitches.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. We just want to chat about these things. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it's some entertainment for this evening. We do not know when. I know people got the emails that said Ahsoka is charging in 10 days or this, that, and some people got it and some people didn't, and all that stuff. We'll see, who the hell knows. I've had that order in with Sideshow from day one when I ordered 6 clones and Ahsoka together because they released at the same time. I haven't gotten an email from them, but then again, I may be on their like blacklist and I won't ever get another figure. But
I paid in full back in 2020 and I did not get the email.
Yeah, so it could be. Well, it might be because we're not on payment plans. It might be because of that. I think the ones I saw were payment plan ones.
They just pick names out of a hat. They literally pick names out of a hat.
Oh! Gotta show that. Speaking of names out of a hat, I got something today that is completely related to this. Hold on, check this out.
That's a random transition. Speaking of names,
I was not expecting that. Yeah, that was going to provide a perfect segue for him.
Straight up, look.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Videos.
I'm telling you what, like seriously, why is Han so seductive on the cover of that box?
You like that, man?
Yeah, with his hand on his hip.
And
like
yeah, like
man.
come on. Tell me, at what point in the movie did he hold the helmet and then have his hand and hip out like this? Like, at what point did he do that? I gotta go watch that.
I'm gonna use a line from Woody from Toy Story. It's a toy.
He's about to walk into like Star Wars, a porn parody or something. Like that's not a New Hope. Come on.
I don't know. We're gonna go play Call of Duty. Hope you guys have a good evening. Thanks for joining us, and check out the links and stuff that Seamus is dropping. We're out of here. Bye.